So guys, let me share with you how I made this yummy Nigerian vegetable soup. I will also list out the ingredients in the description box. The first thing I put on fire is the meat, which is basically your proteins. So I have here goat's meat, shaki, and dry fish. This is a point where you put whatever protein you like to put. What I also added is grated onions and pepper. I will let this cook till when it is ready while I prepare the vegetables. So for the vegetables, I use 3 vegetables. We visited the Nigerian market or the African store during the weekend, so I was able to lay my hand on this water leaf and also ugu. So I have this is what the water leaf stalk looks like. I already removed the leaves from the stalk before remembering to take videos, and that is the ugu, yes, and then spinach. So this spinach is frozen. It's frozen spinach. What I do is I just buy sometimes, especially when it's on sale, and I fling it in the freezer. This spinach I will blanch and then use for this meal. Now, because spinach is known to be very watery, like it produces lots of water, I usually we blanch it this way. There are different ways of blanching, but I am doing this one this way. What I am doing right now is pouring the spinach in a container, then adding hot water for a few minutes just so it shrinks the vegetable. After introducing very hot water to it, I immediately transfer it to very cold water. So either ice water, or if it's the winter season, your tap water is going to be very cold. That is what I do. I run it on the very cold tap and then squeeze it properly and keep aside. Now, why I do this is to be able to extract as much liquid from this water leaf, because this spinach, because if you introduce this directly into your vegetable soup will end up being very watery, and you really don't want that. Well, I do not want that, so this is what I'm doing. Let's just call this a way of blanching. So it's another form of blanching the vegetable. So this is me now extracting. You can see I am squeezing and I'm putting it in a sieve while I go on to the next vegetable I'm going to be preparing. This is the ugu. This ugu I have soaked in salted water, washed for several times, and I'm washing again, and just to ensure that it is properly clean and there is no trace of sand in your vegetable, because you really don't want to have a sandy meal. Now this is ready. I am going to slice all the vegetables and keep aside. Slicing the ugu. After slicing the ugu, I am going to be slicing the water leaf and then just give a slight slice to the spinach. For the spinach, because it has gone through the blanching process, it is shrinked, so you really don't have to, or rather I did not see a need slicing the spinach in slimmer sizes or thinner sizes, if you know what I mean. So this is the spinach. I'm just going to give it 3 big slices or thereabouts. Oh well, 4 slices. And the next step is, into this grinder I am putting in onions, sweet pepper, but this sweet pepper I'm just going to take out some and I will tell you why later. But then we're putting in some sweet pepper. This is a point where you put in your spicy pepper or whatever pepper you want to put in, right? And then going in also is crayfish, and then my Dawadawa or okpehe. or locust beans, whatever you call it, wherever you're watching from. I will blend this into a paste and now introduce it into my well cooked meat. Now I took out some meat stocks from this meat so that as time goes on, I'm able to control the consistency of the soup. During the course of cooking, if I see a need to add more liquid or water, I'm going to be adding more meat stock. Now I have added the blended paste into this and I'm going to allow it to cook for some time. Going in next will be the palm oil. Now, for those of you in the diaspora, this is how I preserve my palm oil. I literally just put it in the freezer, and when it's time to cook, I either bring it out early enough or run it through hot water. This way, you don't get the plastic taste in the palm oil when it's been on the shelf for a long time, if you know what I mean. So that's how I preserve my palm oil. Into the pot goes some palm oil. For measurements, I am seriously listening to my ancestors, so it's more like estimation what I feel is good and how much I don't mind in the meal. So it's up to you to figure that out. You can see that this paste is not liquidy or watery, right? Because you don't really want it to be very watery. But at the end of the day, it's really what you want. I let this cook for a few minutes to allow all the sauce infuse in properly. And now it is ready. This is the moment for the vegetables or vegetables. Now, I will be introducing the ugu first. This is because I feel like the ugu is a little tougher than the other vegetables. So I'm going in with the ugu, give it some stir. I really don't have to close the pot. Depends on how chewy you want your vegetables to also be. Give it some stir, and once I see that the vegetables is properly infused into the sauce, then I go in with the spinach and the water leaf. In my opinion, they have almost the same strength, so it's not like I would have to put those ones at different time. So this is me adding the vegetables into the sauce, giving it a good stir. While you're stirring, it is cooking. You get, so that is exactly what is happening here. Now, this is the stage where I get to taste to see if I am okay with the salt, the pepper, and if I'll be needing seasoning cubes. Clearly, I will be needing seasoning cubes. Because I am using goat meat, I like to use this goat meat seasoning cube and, of course, the Maggi seasoning cube. Reiko and Maggi, guys. Hello, my Nigerian people. You know how we do. So adding in some seasoning cubes, and if I see a need for salt, I will add. You would have noticed that I have not added extra salt, right? This is because from the beginning, I already added salt while cooking my meat. And so far, it is just enough salt quantity for this meal. I also added extra meat stock, if you saw that. That is because I saw a need for some extra liquid and I added some meat stock. So the idea is I have control over the amount of liquid I am now adding. That is why I took out some meat broth or meat stock from the beginning, so that I have control over how the consistency of the soup turns out to be. So this can be a tip for you, just in case you are wondering why your soup is getting too watery or too thick maybe. Anyways, guys, so this is it. This is how I ended up making my very yummy Nigerian vegetable soup. That is literally it. Oh, Remember I took out some sweet peppers, right? Now what this part is optional. I am doing this just because I want some pop of color, you know. So by introducing this grated pepper, I just like this pop of red and green just for the colors, nothing really, so it's optional. And if it's a tip for you, you're welcome. Guys, this is my own way of making this Nigerian vegetable soup. I am very much aware that there are different methods out there. But like with cooking, there's room for trying out, experimenting, and then figuring out what works for you. This one I like. This one works so well for me. That is it, guys. This is how I made my yummy vegetable soup. You can serve this vegetable soup with yam, boiled rice, or swallow. Of course, I went for swallow. I would like to know in the comment section if you'll be trying this recipe. If you have any question, suggestion, or anything you'd like to share with me, I am looking forward to hearing from you in the comment section. Remember to like this video, subscribe of course, turn on your notifications so that when I get to post another video of what's up with me, you will get to know. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Yours truly, Princess.